Hey everybody, and welcome to How To Videos with Dr. Gates. This video focuses on Google Plus and Google Communities, including how to join one, how to create and manage one, and how to search the community area. So to get started and do this, you're going to need a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, you can type in gmail.com and create a Gmail account. Once you do, it's going to look a lot like this when you get it started up. And so your first step is you want to make sure that you've got your Google Plus reference here. It's generally the name you put on your account. Mine's Prof for Professor. And so you see the plus Prof or whatever your value is. When you first create your Gmail account, you're not going to see this, but don't be alarmed. If you click on the matrix and then you choose the G+, you can go through a process of filling in all of your information. And once you're finished with that process, which is very user-friendly, you will see the Google Plus appear. Once it's there, you have full access to all kinds of goodies. So when we click that, it brings us to our home page, and that's what we see up here on the left. If you hover over home, you can edit your profile, you can manage people in your groups, you can manage photos. This video is all about communities. And one of the things you've noticed right in my home page is that the communities that I'm a member of come up for me, whatever's going on in higher education, technology and education, Google Apps. These are the things that I've selected. So how do you manage your communities, and how do you create or even delete a community that you don't want to manage anymore? If you hover over the home link and you scroll down, you'll see an option called Communities. And when you choose that option, it brings you to a page that shows you three things. One is the communities that you have created, and so these are the ones that you moderate. And Coffee Lovers is just an example, so it's private, not public. Communities you've joined, and so in this case you see I've joined the Google Apps, Education, and so on and so forth. And then other communities that you might find interesting, and that list actually goes on for quite a while. If you're interested in a various type of community but you don't see it here, you can always do a search for it. So maybe you're looking for higher education, maybe you're looking for a community of coffee lovers, whatever it is, you can search it in the search box. Now from here, suppose you want to create a community for your job, your school, your project, your team, whatever you're working on. Very straightforward process. You'll click the Create Community button, and then you'll go through a series of questions. And so when you get started, you might want to think to yourself, what's this community for? What's its purpose? And importantly, do I want it to be public? In other words, the whole world can see it? Or is it going to be private and I'm going to share or invite specific members who are in my circle or who are in my job? So let's say just in this example, we're going to stick with private. The next question is, what do you want to call your group? So you can call it anything. I'll call my group More Coffee. And the next question is, can people search for this community? And again, this is a privacy question. You can either hide it or you can allow people to find it by doing a search. So maybe someone's searching for coffee and they'll find your community. And I'm going to keep this private still and go ahead and click Create Community. Once you create your community, Google Plus works its magic in the background and then pulls up a site telling you, hey look, here's your community. And now you can personalize it, you can edit, you can add categories, and so on. And when you're finished, you'll click the Done button. So first, for example, you can add a tagline like, coffee is yummy. Okay, that's great. If you want, you can click the Pick a Photo, and you can upload a photo from your drive, you can upload a photo from your computer, and so on. And so you can personalize this area. And suppose you want more categories other than just discussion. If you click the Add Category, you can have as many categories as you want. So types of coffee might be a specific category that I'd like to add. And I can add another category if I like. So maybe regions is an interesting category for coffee, and so on and so forth. I can also talk about what this community is focused on. So obviously this one's all about coffee, but in your case you'd want to write a little bit of an excerpt so people can see what it's all about and decide if they want to join. If you scroll down a little bit, you have many more options. You can add links here, and you can place YouTube videos, you can place photos, and at the very bottom, and this is sometimes elusive when you're looking for it, you can delete the community. And we'll review how to get to there once we're out of here again. So let's say you personalize everything in here. When you're done, you click on the Done button. You can always edit your community at any time. And this is asking you now, do you want to add a comment and do you want to invite people? Do you want to ask them to preview your community? Do you want to invite people in your circle? Do you want to invite people by email address, and so on? Since this Gmail area is brand new for me, I haven't created any circles yet. But I could type in anyone's email address and it'll send them a little invite to say, hey, check out my new community. Now I'll go ahead and cancel this out, but that's what that is for. Anytime you want to invite people to your community, you always can. So this option kind of hangs around up there. And anytime you want to share something new, you can do that. And you can share it with a photo, a link, a YouTube video. You can create an event, and you would select the category that you want it to live in. Is it a discussion? Is it about coffee? Is it regions? Or whatever your categories are. And when you click share, it starts to create content. Oops, it's saying I have to choose a category. Let's do that. I've chosen discussion, and when I click share, it places that inside of my community. And so that's how you build content in your community. And what's nice is somebody else can add a content here and respond to your posts. And so that's what the community is all about, sharing information, bringing people together, teamwork areas, project areas, really great for a number of applications. All right, so let's say you've done this and now you're all set and you want to leave this area. So let's just say you go ahead and click out of it, and eventually you'll log back into your Gmail. How do you find your community again, and how do you see that? And it's always the same method. You come up to the upper right, you find your Google Plus, which is a plus and whatever your name is in your Gmail account. You click that, and it'll open up your home page, which gives information about whatever communities you've already joined, or random communities if you haven't joined any. If you hover over home, you can come back down to communities, and when you do that, you can see the communities again that you moderate. Here's our new More Coffee, that's the one we just created, and so on and so forth. Now let's say you're practicing and you don't want to keep both of these. If you want to delete a community, click on it. Once it loads up, remember to click on the little wheel, edit the community. So that's how you can edit, you can invite, you can manage members, and so on. So that's what that little gear is for. They call it a gear. We're going to choose to edit this community, which is great because if we don't want to delete it, we can add discussion areas, we can change the photo, we can change anything in here that we want. But if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, that's where you can get rid of it if you don't want it anymore. So let's click delete. It makes sure that you really want to delete it. You click that you do, and click save. Oops, it does that. And then when it comes back to your main page, you can see that that community is no longer there. So hopefully that helped get you started with communities and Google+. Have fun, and thanks for viewing.